We're going to take a look at Eden Prairie's 2023. What happened in Eden Prairie? What was going on in Eden Prairie for real estate in 2023? This is going to be a sober but brief overview of what was happening in the home sales market. So first, I'm going to introduce myself just a little bit here because I don't know if you want to see me but you can take a look here and you can see where we're at. First thing we need to know is we're going to look at all price ranges equally. We're going to look at all property types equally. So this will contain single families and condo and townhomes. We're only going to look at previously owned. That's really important because for a number of reasons, new construction kind of throws off the numbers. And I like new construction. It's really nice to live in a brand new, beautiful, expensive house, but we don't have as many in Eden Prairie, and the ones we do have are generally very expensive, and cost per square foot is kind of throws off the numbers. And also for seller types, we're going to just keep it regular with kind of all of the above. Foreclosure and short sale is such a tiny, tiny percentage of the marketplace. It doesn't really affect much of anything. By the way, it's extremely low. And then when we look at size and we look at number of bedrooms, it's pretty much inclusive of price and condition and so on and so forth. So let's take a look. The last thing I wanted to mention, at least on this particular thing, is we have numbers that we're going to kind of toggle back and forth with between 12 months, which is a rolling average that the MLS uses, versus a monthly. And monthly is just every month on its own. The numbers are blank. The reason why we want to use 12 months is that it gives us a better picture of what is happening in the context of kind of trying to even out some of those crazy ups and downs. So now we're going to look at median prices going back to December of 2022. We can see that the median price in Eden Prairie, and by the way, I only have the Twin Cities, region, and this is, I believe, 7 county metro. The only reason I have it up and compared to is because it's nice to see something else to say, hey, where are we at in the average or the median, for the Twin Cities? The answer is it's more expensive in Eden Prairie, which, of course makes sense because it's a great place to live. I I wasn't born here, but I've raised 3 children and paid a lot of taxes and done a lot of things in Eden Prairie for, oh my goodness, 26 years now, I think, 27 years, something like that. But anyway, Eden Prairie median sales price at the beginning of last year, or the end of January excuse me, the end of December in 2022, was $450,000. And right now, currently, it's 460. So that's a whopping increase of 2.2%. But if we go to monthly, we can see obviously up and down and up and down and up and down. And again, these are medians. Now, a median is helpful because it tells us that half of the homes are above and half of the homes are below that price point. Okay, so now let's take a look at the month's supply. What's going on with the month's supply? The answer is a whole lot there, or not a whole lot, but it's just been crazy the amount of demand that there has been. So we take a look at what was the month supply, or the saturation rate, a year ago, a little over a year ago. It was 1.1. The Twin Cities was 1.2. And then we look at it did go up a little bit and it went up a little bit. And by the way, this was when the interest rates were still just kind of hovering up. And then all of a sudden they really started to go up. And that did affect our sales a little. But if we look at what it was as of last month, we have 1.3 months worth of homes in Eden Prairie to sell to 1.3 months worth of buyers, if you kind of think about it that way. The Twin Cities has 1.6 months of buyers and 1.6 months of homes to sell. And so that's an interesting thing to look at. Let's also look at price per square foot, the median price per square foot. And again, there's the single family, townhomes, condos, and everything for Eden Prairie. Okay, so if we go back to December of 2022, which is the best way to do it, or we can look, because we can't look at January to January because January isn't done yet. Right now, it's January 2024, and so we don't have those numbers yet. So if we look at December of 2022, we're at $197 per square foot. Now, by the way, this is total finished square foot that's been reported onto the MLS. Sometimes it's not correct, but on average, I would say it's probably fairly decently close, within 80 to 90% of the time. And that means that the median house sold for $197 per square foot, finished square feet. That would include, it was a 2-story with a walkout basement, and the basement is finished, or even not a walkout. Those finished square feet are included in this. It wouldn't just be above ground square footage. That would be a different number. So if we look at the Twin Cities at 191, we're at Eden Prairie's at 198. We really have only gone up 0.5%. Now, that doesn't sound like a whole lot. It actually sounds a little depressing. But when you think about and you can kind of look at these gains over a period of time, I mean, this isn't a long time ago. This is just a few years ago where we've seen huge gains. So if we go back to, let's just say January of 2020, we go back 4 years ago from this moment, it was $154 a square foot for a the median home in Eden Prairie, and now it is just under 200 at $198 a square foot. One of the things that I think is really potent that we need to look at before I let you go is there's two things. One is the shows to pending. Oh, the chart there. One is shows to pending. Sorry, I'm kind of new at this program here. Shows to pending. There it is. This is the shows depending, which is how many showings did it take to sell a house in Eden Prairie, during that time. Now, I think month to month is a little better for something like this. So let's take a look at that. December of 2022, it took 12 days, excuse me, 12 showings to sell a house. Now, by the way, what is pending? Pending is a home that is sold but not closed. However, there is no inspection contingency, or the inspection contingency was, accomplished and then released, and so, or agreed to. So 12 showings per sale. That's very, very aggressive. And now we look back, and we would look at what it was last month, because of course right now it's January 2024. It was 12. So let's see, it was 12 showings last month, and it was 12, before. So we can see how it kind of spiked up and down, but it did not go anywhere near, the danger, it's a buyer's market situation. So the last thing that I want to show you that I do think is incredibly important, and it's just simply the volume of properties. When we look at the volume of properties, and I'm going to do a rolling on this one because I think this is important to look at this way. This is the amount of homes that were on the market at during that month, and it was, compared to the Twin Cities. Now, the Twin Cities, let's see, December of 2022, there was 5334, and in Eden Prairie, there were 94 homes for sale. And we look at what it was in last month, 4960 and 81 homes. That's not a huge amount, but if you really look at, and let's toggle back to monthly, and we look at the amount, kind of where we started. The answer is we started with 61 homes, and we went up, we were in the hundreds, low hundreds. It, went down, into the 2023. And by the way, let's see, was actually, I'm going to cut that. So I'm going to delete that and go back to, if we take a look at where we were at in December of 2022, there were 66 homes on the market. This is homes for sale, okay? Just period, homes for sale. These would include pendings, by the way, but not include closed. There were 66 homes for sale, and in the Twin Cities, there were 4,200 and change. Now we obviously have more homes for sale, and it peaking out, in this range here, 180, 100, 100 and something. And then, of course, this is the natural progression of when it starts to go down, October, November, etc. And of course, if you remember, October, November was also when we were hitting 7.5 and 7.75 interest rates. So last month, we had 56 homes on the market are selling. And by the way, percentage of list price, I thought I'd show you that too, since we're right here and you're a captive audience. You can't go anywhere. You're on the computer. You could hit stop or fast forward, but that would not be very, very good. We look at monthly. We go back to, and again, this is percentage, a closed sale. What did it receive based on the marketplace? A little over a year ago, of course, December 2022, Eden Prairie Heights got 97.3. Again, this was the median. So half of the marketplace got a little more, half of the marketplace got a little less. We looked to it last month, it's at 96.7%. And again, this is a closed sale. What percentage of original price did they get? A year ago, it was 97.3. Now it's a really different, joke, 96.7%. So all of these things add up to let me know, and I see it out in the marketplace. Eden Prairie has a very strong backbone. It was a wonderful seller's market, but it's not a redonkulous, 3 days on the market and 17 offers type of seller's market. What happened? Well, the answer is that interest rates spiked, and that really hurt a lot of buyers' ability to purchase. Their payments were going up, their affordability was going down, and they just simply stopped purchasing or slowed down purchasing. Well, why didn't we see a decrease in the price of homes? The answer is because there were still so few homes on the marketplace. To put it plainly, we are in a thirst. It's a dry, dry desert right now for homes for sale in Eden Prairie. And those homes sell quickly if they're reasonably priced and reasonably prepared.